about having bad press, they're all very, very responsive to these things. And so I didn't know when on the day of the day of the event, I didn't know that Tommy Robinson was intending on appearing. He was in London for this Hearts of Oak thing, so he got a ticket and he was just going to come down. And somehow the Met Police learned about this before I did, and approached the venue and said, "Well, and this is what I've heard through being there." So I didn't speak to the venue personally, but the person organising it. This is what they passed on to me. That the police had essentially said, you are not allowed to let Tommy Robinson come to your venue inside the building, and if you do, we will not necessarily directly revoke, but at least investigate your license or something like that. A veiled threat. And so they'd got awfully panicky and said to us, they're not going to allow Tommy Robinson in. And please, can we not talk about him on stage? Neither can we talk about racism or fascism, which I thought was interesting. I mean, I like talking about fascism because it's a lot of people don't understand why it's important to understand the bad things, because you can easily dichotomize it against the things that you believe to be good. So it annoys me that we can't have discussions about, and racism as well. I talk about racism all the time. It's an important subject that we have to talk about. But there was no problem with the venue. It was just people asked, well, why couldn't Tommy come in? And we were like, look, we can't actually talk about it, because we didn't want the venue to freak out and close everything down or anything, and out of respect for them, they've been good enough to actually host us. And it's damn difficult to find a host. And it's not something we wanted to provoke with them and cause them trouble. Luckily, at the end of the session, at the end of the next day, they said that it had been a great night, no trouble at all. Everyone was, we were more than welcome to go back there and use the venue again, which is excellent. And I assume that's because they made lots of money because it was a sold-out show. But this is what I mean when I say that the media has huge influence over institutions. The police were only there because it's Tommy Robinson, and the hysteria surrounding Tommy Robinson by the media and the political establishment has made him a monster, and I don't think that he is. I don't think he's a racist. I don't think that he is the thing that they say that he is, and I think that it's very, very cruel to have done this to someone who was speaking about a legitimate problem. I can't think of anything that Tommy Robinson has warned about that hasn't come true. If it's not gangs and cultural colonies in Birmingham or London or wherever else, Rotherham, it's grooming gangs, or it's terrorism, or it's prison radicalization, and he's been right on all of these points. And so to just say, well, he's actually just a racist, it's like, well, he's a racist with a remarkably good record of predicting what's about to happen, so, but yeah, anyway, sorry.
And he's prevented any evidence coming out of him actually being racist, because I'm still yet to see any evidence of him saying anything that can even be considered racist by anyone with half a brain cell.
Well, this is the eternal conundrum with it, isn't it? Whenever for example, I love Toby Young. I love what he's done with the Free Speech Union. I appreciate the fact that someone else is proudly declaring themselves to be a classical liberal. But when he was interviewed the other day asking about the Free Speech Union and if Tommy Robinson could join, he was asked, well, not if he's going to be racist. And the interviewer asked, or Toby volunteered that he couldn't think of anything that Tommy Robinson had said that was racist, and that's what they always say. And it's very, very frustrating. So it's like, look, if you've got literally no pieces of evidence to say this guy is a racist, could we please stop calling him a racist? It's become a truism, an article of faith. Like, if you think Tommy Robinson is racist, then I can predict your entire worldview, is essentially what it is. And if you don't, then I don't know what you believe. And it's become a kind of litmus test, a kind of comfort barrier for the sort of like Westminster bubble worldview. Oh yeah, no, we all agree Tommy Robinson's a racist, and so now we're trapped in this particular mindset where we've anathematized this guy who I genuinely don't think is a racist.
It's like we've all listened to David Lammy. Mm-hmm. That's what you're saying. We've all taken what David Lammy says as fact.
Yeah.
Which moves on nicely, actually, to the next question.